Ted Jenkin, Oxygen Financial, sitting in front of us looking dapper in his khaki white pinstriped suit. I'm guessing you got some business to take care of today?
Yes, I'm professionally dressed today, ready to go see clients, do business.
Yeah, I'd buy from you just for wearing that suit. I'm guessing that's not off the rack either, huh?
No, this one's not off the rack. This
I got one
this is
like
Hugo Boss today.
TJ Maxx got one just like that a couple months ago.
See, Jason's frugal. I don't call him cheap anymore. You're frugal, right?
Yeah, I got the same one sleeve shorter than the other. Mine is, but it was a lot cheaper.
Bailey gets a great deal, but you can tell that he got a great deal.
Well, this is still a good.
You can't tell because I roll up the sleeves.
You can tell.
I roll up the sleeves, and you can't tell one's longer than the other.
That's a good look.
This is still a good deal. If you go to the factory store, I actually got this one up in Cleveland. Some of the suit makers, when the suits get off season, you can get shoes and you can get shirts and real nice ones too. Xenia. Boss, things like that for pretty low price.
There's a brand called Hugo Boss, which is very, very similar. It's got the same logo.
You sure it's not Hugo Busted?
No. Well, it's a ripoff of Hugo Boss, but it's Hugo Boss, and it's very, very similar. It's just a different fit. Where again, one sleeve, one pant leg might be off.
He's going with.
I'm dead serious. That's how. But see, that's what you appreciate my frugalness, if that's even a word. Because that's what you
You're
do.
Cheap.
I don't know about the one sleeve shorter than the other.
You're cheap.
People don't know.
Yeah, they do.
No,
Yeah, they do.
they don't know. And
when
if
I
you
take
don't
off
care,
my
it doesn't-
jacket, they can look in at the tag and go, all right, that's legit. When you don't want anybody seeing the interior of your tag.
I tell you, when you're in a relationship and they would rather you spend that money on them versus an expensive suit, that makes them happy. Versus what you want to talk about, like financially cheating on your spouse. When you go out there and you buy a $5,000 suit and you don't tell your lady about that, she gets all about being pissed off. See, me on the other hand, I'm actually catering to her needs. So I can buy her bonbons and I can buy her dresses.
Good spin. I'm glad you brought that up right as my wife's alarm went off at 8 o'clock this morning. Thank you.
So what do you got? Like top 5 or something there?
Well, this is a big topic today, and I think a lot of couples, a lot of families have a difficult time dealing with this. We talked a little bit about money a couple weeks ago, but a lot of spouses today are financially cheating on their spouse. We're not talking necessarily about tens of thousands of dollars, but
You're not talking about spending money on hookers or anything. What does that mean, cheating on their spouse?
That happens too.
Oh.
But I'm not talking about that. Well, what I'm saying is you got an example here where somebody keeps a secret stash, right? And that secret stash is used for little purchases or gambling or things like that, that one spouse doesn't tell another spouse about.
Oh, we don't have that problem. I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Cookie jar.
Cookie jar, yeah. What you need to do is just, if you're using the credit cards, then you can tell what each other's spending. Just use the credit cards, right?
That's if you know what all of your spouse's credit cards. Let's just say in this case that I'm not saying Amanda did this, but let's just say she went out and picked up a credit card at a department store
that I don't know about.
Anyone could open one up. You can go into Nordstrom's or any one of these stores and open one up.
I just got
$1,000.
I just got sent a Nordstrom magazine here at work, and I don't have a Nordstrom card.
Well, she's cheated on you.
I think I'm being cheated on
financially.
Because
look at who it's addressed to on the back.
Well,
Amanda L. Rickman.
Yeah. That comes with the purchase of a credit card. Or when you sign up for a credit card.
Well, and think about this. If you're not the one that's home opening up the mail, how would you know that it comes into the house anyway?
Well, why don't you just get paperless and have it sent straight to your email?
That happens.
And that'll screw me because I don't check that. I'm a paper boy, but she's been slowly but surely doing things on the computer.
So you think?
So what's your advice? Are you trying to catch people, or are you just telling them these are different ways they do it?
No, I'm just saying here that the discussion that should happen between a family, this is part of the honesty, because in relationships, you talk about love, but after that, money is number 2 that people fight about all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And often it's a difficult topic to talk about. So if you start piling up bills, this is where one spouse will tell another, hey, I don't want to let you know, but in the last 5 years, I built up $15,000 of credit card debt.
Yeah.
What? How did you do that?
Last time Rach and I got in an argument about money, I paid her to shut up. So it works out really well.
Now, see, my spouse is the opposite. I carried some credit card debt because I like to have a lot of cash in the bank, in my checking account, and she made me level that out. So about a year ago, I paid off all my credit card debt. So we pay it off no matter what it is.
Let's talk about the bigger one. The bigger one is talk about guys that might be listening to the show, and at some point in time, your buddy said, why don't you invest $10,000 in this private investment? I'm not saying a bar.
Boiler room.
Now, you say a bar.
It could be any sort of investment, right? Technology company, bar, somebody's opening up a business. They put $10,000 in it. You lose that money, but now you don't want to tell your spouse that you made a bad investment. Or you put money in the stock market, you were trying to trade options or thought you could.
Does this happen a lot?
Oh, all the time, Jason. Absolutely.
Really?
I had somebody come in not more than 6 months, 8 months ago, and literally lost $1 million in the stock market.
Oh,
ouch, ouch, ouch. Did he have it to lose, or is this? I mean,
nobody ever has $1 million to lose.
but you know what I mean? Was he a baller, and now he's like,
no, he wasn't a baller. You know, these people get caught up and they think they can trade options on the computer, and they listen to these Saturday morning shows that says all you need to do is set up a trading system, and now you can make $1 million. You know, 3% a month, 4% a month on your money.
Did he tell us why?
Not till we went through the tax return. No.
What did she say?
When you literally the face went blank.
She divorced him?
No, not yet.
God, that's. Whew.
Not yet.
That could be a divorcey thing.
That's a tough pill to swallow, right?
That is way tough.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's not $1 million. But I'm telling you, every day, people listening to this show right now have lost 10, 20, 30, 50 grand because they invested in something they didn't know anything about because their buddy, their pal, their friend said, look, Jason, give me 25 grand.
Yeah.
I get this great business idea.
Yeah.
It's from some guy out in California.
It's a car wash.
And I'm going to make you 4 times your money in the next 2 years. No problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. And they come back and they lose it all.
2 years later, you have no money.
And they dip into that extra savings, the kids fund or something like that rainy day money. And you have to eventually, especially when tax time comes back, you got to tell. It's like I said, Boiler Room, the movie Boiler Room, you know. That movie Disconnect I was talking about was one of the things, the ID fraud, and their identities got taken. And then when they went to sit down with the web ID guy, he goes over all these records, and they find out that they were all their financials and all the stuff they keep. See, I've never been like that. I've never kept my financials from my significant other. You know,
and I haven't either. Does that make us?
Well, you know, there's one thing about keeping it
people?
separate. If there's a conversation, and I say to my wife, hey, look, you know, you're going to have this bank account for birthday gifts or holiday gifts, and I don't want to know what you buy, so it's not like every time we look at the credit card, we know what we bought each other, right? And that's a discussion to have. But just having separate accounts and never telling anyone.
You should have separate accounts. People
at least one for some independence.
People think for some reason when they get together, they have to share everything. And let me give you the number one reason why you should not have the same bank account if you're a married couple is because when you get divorced, it's a pain in the ass to separate the money. And then outside of that, when you buy prizes for each other, then you know what you got the other person. And when you're paying that off, you're technically paying off your own prize.
Yeah, I just paid off my own prize for my 50th coming up.
Doesn't that suck? It's stupid.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the American Express bill, and I'm like, well, what is this? And then I found out what I'm getting.
Well, the other side of this in here is that when you have the same American Express or Visa card and one person is paying that bill every month, and you notice purchases that you see recurring over and over and again, that starts to incite you, right? It starts to get you angry. You got to have those discussions sooner than later. You know, if your wife is out and she spends $400 a month at Anthropologie, and every month you see that bill over and over, and you're thinking to yourself, what in the heck is she buying at Anthropologie?
Yeah, I got that going, Anthropologie bill.
Well, you've got to have that conversation now, you know, or otherwise, if a spouse feels that way, they may open up an Anthropologie card. Then you've got a worse situation, right? You've got somebody out cheating and saying, look, I don't want him or her to see what I'm spending, so I'm just going to go do this on my own. It's a disaster. I've been doing this 20 plus years. It's a disaster to have your finances set up that way.
Are there things called financial therapists?
Oh, yeah, that's what I do every day.
Oh, but you're not a therapist. You're a financial advisor.
I've morphed into one over time.
No, he is a bit of a therapist now. Because he held my hand the other day.
That's a conversation. I mean, you have to be skilled and have that conversation in order to accuse somebody of purchasing something, even though it's on paper, and then talk them off the ledge and then try to convince them not to do it. People take that personally. Don't tell me what I can do with my own money. You don't understand.
Yeah, that is a fight starter.
You're wasting your money.
Well, I didn't want this job, but I turned into part marriage counselor, part spiritual advisor, part career advisor, and part financial advisor, all packed into one.
Yeah.
Not by design, but it's just part of the business because these conversations are much more than dollars and cents.
What would you say the percentage of Americans that financially cheat on their spouses?
Well, the stats say that it's about 1 in 5 right now that spend more than $500 that they don't tell their spouse about. But I'm going to tell you in real pragmatic terms, it's more around 40%.
And
2 out of 5 people, at least $500.
What's the main thing they spend it on?
just personal shopping stuff. Don't want to tell my spouse or partner about little purchases, shoes, things I buy for the house, just things that may go unnoticed.
Escorts, strippers, steakhouses.
Haven't seen that as much.
See, we're lucky there. I'm the big spender. She's trying to shut me down.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just used to being single. That's all.
Sports betting is up there, Jason.
Oh,
that's a Bailey thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You gamble at least $10 a month on. I know.
Well, yeah, $10 a month, but my gambling's in the casino. I'm not a sports bettor.
He does I do the DraftKings. He talks me into it. We both bet $1 a night on basketball games.
And Rachel's an enabler. She chants me on. She's like the chick that chants you on in a fight. Keep kicking him in the face. She's that girl.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She's the pusher.
She keeps pouring the vodka.
You can turn this around.
Yeah.
I know you've lost 3,000. Just go in all.
We've had that conversation. She's right. You can get it back today. You can get it back today.
Oh, no. Good Lord.
That's why I love her so much.
God, she's like a devil woman.
She's so great. All right, Ted, where can people find you?
Look, I think if you make $100,000 and you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, or even $250,000 and you're living paycheck to paycheck, go to oxygenfinancial.net. We'll help you get straightened out, get an investment portfolio in place, save money in taxes, help you build a financial plan. Go to oxygenfinancial.net.